Hi, everyone. I'm Larry Ward, Vice President and Dean of Campus Life at Babson College, and I'm so delighted and excited to welcome so many of our students to Babson in just a few weeks. Our teams have been working hard to prepare for the arrival of new first-year students and returning students to our campus in Wellesley. From the classroom to residence halls and trim dining hall to athletic competition and student clubs and organizations, we're looking forward to students being able to enjoy a more recognizable in-person experience this year. The purpose of this forum is to follow up on President Spinelli's recent email communication announcing our return to campus policies, protocols, and expectations in light of COVID. I'm very pleased to be joined by some of my wonderful colleagues who each play important roles in the undergraduate experience at Babson. Caitlin Capozzi is our Dean of Students. Dr. Ryan Travia is Associate Vice President for Student Success, and Dr. Wendy Murphy is Associate Dean of Undergraduate Programs and Professor of Management. As a college, we continue to be guided by two foundational principles that govern our approach to COVID. One, the overall health and well-being of the Babson community, which includes emotional and social well-being, and two, academic excellence and continuity. COVID continues to be an incredibly dynamic and constantly evolving public health challenge, especially for a residential college campus. Thus, we're monitoring emerging data and trends at the local, state, and national level, and our plans continue to be informed by expert guidance from our environmental health and engineering consultants, the local Board of Health, the CDC, and our own campus experience. Importantly, the shifting conditions, particularly related to variants, require us to be nimble and agile in our decision-making. In short, as conditions change, we undoubtedly will need to make some appropriate adjustments in policies and protocols. Without question, we believe that one of the most important risk mitigation strategies for our college is a highly vaccinated campus community. So I want to thank all of you who have submitted your vaccination verification records. We already have achieved a level where more than 90% of our student population has satisfied their vaccination requirement. There remain a small number of students who have not yet responded to our outreach. If you are among those who have not yet responded, please contact Health Services immediately, as your enrollment status for the fall is in serious jeopardy. Finally, we will have a group of students for various reasons who will need to be vaccinated upon their arrival at Babson. Details on our vaccination clinics will be shared a little later in this discussion. So now, let me turn it over to my colleagues to review the policies and important information that you need to know as you prepare for the start of the academic year. Caitlin?
Thank you, Larry. As President Spinelli shared in his recent email to the community, we've developed arrival protocols in partnership with our consulting industrial hygienists in order to safeguard our community as students arrive to campus from across the country and around the world. We encourage all students to familiarize themselves with Babson's compliance portal prior to arriving to campus, which will assist students in navigating any COVID-specific protocols prior to and as they settle into campus. All students are required to complete a Babson-administered COVID-19 test within 24 hours of arriving to campus. We ask that students schedule their test in advance of their arrival through the compliance portal. As a reminder, community members are required to wear masks while at the testing center, health services, and to present their Babson One card for on-campus testing. For any student without a One card at their first testing appointment, please bring a state-issued ID or passport to present for your arrival test. In addition to completing a Babson-administered arrival test, unvaccinated students are required to upload a negative off-campus COVID-19 test from 72 hours prior to arrival. Instructions on how to upload these tests will be shared with unvaccinated students prior to their arrival. Should any student receive a positive test result prior to arriving to campus, please stay home and call health services. Once a negative arrival test is received by a vaccinated student, we will issue a campus clearance badge, which will be sent to your Babson email address, and it may be requested in class or at various campus activities. Unvaccinated students will receive their badge after successfully uploading their negative 72-hour test result and receiving a negative arrival test. We strongly encourage students living off campus to arrive in the area 48 hours prior to their first class to ensure that they are able to comply with all arrival protocols and avoid any disruption to their academic experience. At this time, any non-essential travel after arrival is not encouraged. Those students who have an urgent need to travel are required to follow the college travel policy. Per CDC guidance at this time, any international travel requires quarantine upon return to the United States. Students traveling internationally are required to quarantine off campus at their own expense if they choose to travel after arrival. Unvaccinated students returning from domestic or international travel, or vaccinated students returning from international travel, may not enter the classroom until a negative test result from a Babson-administered test is received. Please note that faculty will not accommodate a shift to remote modality while students quarantine or await a negative test result as a result of personal or non-essential travel. Babson will be following federal, local, and state guidance on traveling and will continue to evaluate the steps outlined in the college travel policy as further guidance and data becomes available. At this time, all residential students have received a move-in date and time from the housing team. We encourage students to limit their move-in day support to no more than 2 family members or friends. Anyone joining students on campus for move-in should review the visitor expectations on our website, which includes wearing a mask while indoors, regardless of your vaccination status. During the academic year, family and friends can visit their students on campus. We just ask that prior to any visit, guests review and comply with current campus policies for visitors as outlined on our website at that time. Last year, we experienced minimal COVID-19 spread among roommates and suitemates, given the mitigation strategies in place throughout the residence hall. To continue to reduce the risk of spread, students will find HEPA filters have been placed in any residence hall room or suite where all occupants have not yet completed their vaccination. Additionally, facilities will continue with increased cleaning of all halls focused on shared spaces. Residential students are once again allowed to host guests in the halls and in their rooms. However, at this time, no overnight guests will be permitted in the residence halls unless they are currently enrolled Babson students. Babson College Dining will be opening at normal capacity for dine-in opportunities. Students can expect to find new offerings in Reynolds, the Market in Olin and Park Manor West, and the continuation of Boost Mobile for ordering at Duncan, Reynolds, Olin, and Centennial Cafe. New students and families can expect to experience orientation programming to welcome you to Babson and assist you in adjusting to campus life. New students are asked to remain on campus once moved in and avoid staying off campus with their family to allow for a smooth transition and, as mentioned earlier, to maintain the integrity of our arrival protocols. As we prepare to welcome back the sophomore class, we know that last year did not allow for a complete orientation or a traditional campus experience, with many of our students experiencing Babson in a fully remote environment. To support sophomores in acclimating to campus, we will be inviting them to participate in orientation on August 29th. This programming will be focused on campus tours, the classroom experience, and campus resources. Additionally, a committee of students and staff are working together to plan monthly programming specifically to bring the sophomore class together to meet their classmates and build on the social experience from the previous year. Finally, clubs and organizations will be supported in organizing their traditional events both in person and virtually. We strongly encourage outdoor events whenever possible, especially as we work through arrival for our entire community. The Campus Activities Board is actively planning their traditional Welcome Week activities, and I hope you all save the date for our annual Founders Fest on Park Manor Quad, September 8th. This campus tradition will be restored to its former format with high-end giveaways, minute to win it games, prizes, and an extensive Apple-themed menu. We are so excited to share in these campus traditions with you all once again. And with that, I will turn it over to my colleague, Ryan.
Thank you, Caitlin. We are looking forward to welcoming students to campus. Let me review some of the important information related to the measures we are taking to keep each other safe and healthy as we repopulate campus. After clearing arrival testing, all students, regardless of vaccination status, will be tested weekly or every 7 days through September 17th. I encourage you to schedule your recurring appointments now, which can be done through the compliance portal. Students have shared that it's best to pick a day and stick to a day. Unvaccinated students will continue to be tested weekly. All varsity athletes will also be tested twice weekly through the initial surveillance period. Then, unvaccinated athletes will be tested 2 times a week thereafter. From the onset, we have always aligned with or exceeded federal, state, and local guidance. We recognize that mask wearing remains one of the most effective risk mitigation strategies in the fight against COVID. As part of Babson's commitment to helping safeguard our community, we announced last month that non-vaccinated and partially vaccinated individuals are required to wear a mask at all times indoors. We also announced that vaccinated individuals are required to mask indoors until they have received a negative PCR arrival test through the college. Given the increasing case numbers in the United States, we are extending the mask wearing requirement for vaccinated individuals. Beginning August 15th and through the first few weeks of classes, vaccinated community members, in addition to those who are not fully vaccinated, will be required to mask in shared indoor spaces where there is high likelihood of commingling, including classrooms, small study rooms, and common areas. Masks are not required in personal residences and when actively eating or drinking. We are looking carefully at how this policy relates to residential halls and shared spaces within, and will update our community in the weeks ahead. This extension of our mask wearing policy allows the college to test each individual on campus before allowing masks to be removed by vaccinated individuals. Further, it allows us to capitalize on the planned surveillance testing data, which I previously mentioned was required on all on-campus community members through September 17th, to potentially assess any early impact on health and safety once the mask requirement is lifted for those who are vaccinated. We will reevaluate the mask policy as more Babson community-specific data, as well as local and federal guidance becomes available. We expect to update the community by early to mid-September on further masking guidance. For those who test positive for COVID-19, they will be placed in isolation either on or off campus, generally for 10 days. Release is on the 11th day. Any unvaccinated individuals deemed to be close contacts and or those who are symptomatic will be placed into quarantine, generally for 7 days with release on day 8. All close contacts, regardless of vaccination status, will be tested 3 to 5 days post-exposure. All students will be assigned a case manager to assist with any needs throughout the quarantine and isolation process. If you're not feeling well, we need you to do a few things. 1, stay in your room or stay home and take care of yourself. 2, call health services or your healthcare provider and get tested. Health services can help with testing options on and off campus. Finally, support is available for students and families. Every student is assigned a student success advisor who is available to assist you in navigating your academic and personal journeys at Babson. We have a comprehensive counseling and psychological services department that provides free and confidential support around mental health and emotional well-being. And we are very fortunate to have a robust wellness and prevention services team that provides a range of health promotion programs and services. Simply stated, in order to do well, you must be well. So please, take advantage of the myriad resources available to you during your time at Babson.
Thank you, Ryan. We are all anticipating the start of the academic year on Monday, August 30th. Based on our academic experience last year, we've added a new mid-semester fall break with an extended weekend. So there will be no classes on Indigenous Peoples Day, Monday, October 11th, or on Tuesday, October 12th. Please also note that we will have class on Monday and Tuesday of Thanksgiving week to enable more robust academic continuity toward the end of the semester. The full academic calendar is up to date on our website. In the few days before classes start, remember to check your schedule on Workday Student and to access Canvas for each class. This will allow you to review the syllabus and pre-readings or work in order to be fully prepared for your first class sessions. While we do have a few fully online courses this fall, a vast majority of undergraduate classes are planned to be in person. We are all looking forward to welcoming you into our classrooms and engaging in academics. If you do have travel delays, please communicate your situation with your faculty for each class. We cannot stress it enough that we are here to support your academic success. Your faculty will guide you during the semester as needed. So if you test positive for COVID, please communicate with your faculty, as arrangements may need to be made on a case-by-case basis depending on the class and the material or activities planned for the sessions you may miss. Many of our classrooms enable you to access classes remotely if you're in quarantine or isolation. However, if you are very sick, as always, we expect you to work with your faculty and stay home to recover. For those parents out there, please remind your students to communicate with their faculty and tap into our many resources on campus. On behalf of the faculty, we look forward to seeing you in our classrooms.
Thank you, Wendy and Ryan and Caitlin, for that great information and helpful information. We know that you all are eager to return to Babson, and for our new students, we know that you are excited to start your journey here. And we're very excited to have you on campus and to be able to enjoy so much more of what the college experience should be like. Like many of you, I'm optimistic about the year ahead, but I'm also a realist. So I do have some concerns about the current public health and safety trends. The emergent variant and the current data are troubling. So we're keenly focused on making sure that our campus is fully prepared for interventions as needed this year. Accordingly, we're going to ask for your support and for your patience. We're going to seek your feedback, but we're also going to ask for you to be respectful and to be civil. As one Babson, let's make this a year of learning and growth and success for our entire community. Thank you so much for joining us, and we all look forward to seeing you on campus very soon.